Hey guys, it's Kira. I am 35 weeks pregnant. And boy, do I have an update for you guys. I actually spent, not yesterday, but the day before, in labor and delivery. Not for any fun reasons. I am still, in fact, majorly pregnant. But I woke up, so I had been having like achy back pain, and just thought, this is how my body feels. End of pregnancy. This sucks. But I woke up, what was it, Wednesday? Would have been Wednesday, and was like, I think I have a kidney stone or kidney stones. I felt I had kidney stones with Heidi's pregnancy, and the feeling is something you don't forget. And I was just like, okay, flush with water, massage my back, heat, hot shower. Really not much was helping. So eventually it got so bad that I was like, you need to take me to the hospital, because I am probably going to have surgery to remove this stone, if I can't pass it on my own. But like, I'm gonna need something for this pain, because this feels like I'm giving birth right now. And the pain in my back was radiating through and causing contractions in my uterus. So I was like, I don't want to be home going through this much pain. I want to be in the hospital going through this much pain. So my husband dropped me off. The only reason he dropped me off, and he was not happy about this, was that we have other kids, and yes, we have people in our lives that we can call on in emergencies, but most of those people also have a lot of kids. Some of those people have the stomach flu currently. Like, there wasn't really a good option other than him taking the day off work and staying home with the kids. He had Ford all day, and then he had to get my older kids from school, get my 9-year-old to her dance class. Like, so I'm like, there's nothing that you can do for me in the hospital, and I'd rather you be with the kids. So if something changes or gets too intense or whatever, I can call you up to the hospital and we can like figure out the kid situation later. But for now, just drop me off. So that's what he did. And luckily, when you're this pregnant, when you go into emergency, they just send you up to labor and delivery. Like, they want nothing to do with you. So I was like, I'm 34 weeks. She's like, labor and delivery, get out of my face. I was like, okay, but to be clear, I don't think I'm in labor. I'm pretty sure it's a kidney stone, but like, she's like, it doesn't matter. Go to labor and delivery. So she wheels me up there. They get me into triage. They check me. They get, the bands on, and they're checking baby. Baby's fine. And they're like, okay, you're a fingertip dilated, high and long, like, you're not in labor. I'm like, I know, this is excruciating pain in the right side of my back, kidney stones. At this point, I am growling, screaming. I cannot contain the pain inside of my body. So they have the baby on the monitor. They do an ultrasound, baby's head down, and they are monitoring contractions and the baby's heart. And then they're like, okay, so we're going to give you morphine for the pain, and we're going to admit you because you clearly need something. Like, we need to figure something out. So they give me the IV, they give me morphine for the pain, and they give me a shot of morphine in my thigh, which, wow, that hurts. And then afterwards, they're trying to like rub it, and I'm like, that hurts. But the morphine doesn't do anything except for make me a little drowsy, which just helped me to like pass out from the pain. So it really didn't do much. It didn't take the pain away. It kind of just made me too drowsy to be able to vocalize the pain and then pass out. for 30 minutes. Woke up howling, screaming again. They admitted me to the hospital, got me into a labor and delivery suite. And then they gave me Dilaudid in my IV. Also did nothing. Again, made me pass out for about 30 minutes. Like after an hour of me screaming through the pain, through the morphine and Dilaudid, I passed out from the pain. Woke up about half an hour later screaming in more pain. They finally get me down for an ultrasound. I'm howling, screaming. We're on like 7 hours by the time I leave of howling through this pain. They gave me the ultrasound on my kidneys and my bladder, and they send me back up to like wait for the results. My nurse is a sweet angel, and she gave me, because I couldn't eat anything, so she's like, here, popsicles, and ice and all that, you know, whatever she could do for me. And she didn't make me lay back down with the monitors on, because sitting up felt better than laying down. So she let me sit up, and the monitors were like slipping down. They couldn't get a good read if I was sitting up. So she's like, you have to tell me that you refuse to be monitored so that I don't have to put the monitors back on you. And I was like, I refuse to be monitored. So we kind of like winked at each other, and then she left. So they come back, they check me again. I'm still the same in dilation and effacement and stuff. Everything's the same, not in labor. I was kind of worried that this amount of pain would trigger preterm labor, because when I tell you I was crawling out of my skin. They then gave me 3 Tylenol, which I was like, sick. Which I feel like the Tylenol helped the most out of all the pain meds. So they gave me the Tylenol. I was able to like not scream for about an hour, and then it all kind of started coming back. I went through a whole IV bag. They gave me a bolus, which she just explained is when they push like a bunch of IV fluid fast to just try to flush your system. So I was super hydrated by the time I left. The doctor came in and was like, ultrasound looks good, no kidney stones. I'm like, you're a big fat liar. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know what happened. I don't know if I passed them right before I went in for the ultrasound, but I was still in pain afterwards, so I don't really know. But they even though I was again screaming, howling in pain, felt like I was going through natural labor, like transition. That's what it felt like. They were like, well, we can't just keep you here when we can't find anything wrong with you. And we're not going to keep giving you these like heavy medications because you are pregnant. And I was like, valid. But also, please don't send me home. Because I figured I'm just going to end up in more pain when I get home, and I'm going to have to be right back. But they're like, you can come back, but there's nothing more for us to do for you right now. I'm like, fantastic. So I was really disheartened. They sent me home with a lidocaine patch, which did nothing, and with a prescription for more. And then my husband picked me up, and we went and got some chicken lemon rice soup, and he took me home, and I ate that, and I drank a bunch of highly concentrated, like fresh squeezed lemon juice water. The juice of 2 full lemons, I split that into 2 like big venti Starbucks cups and drank that, because lemon juice is supposed to change the acidity of your urine, which can help to break down kidney stones, apparently. I was like, I will try anything. I know that they didn't see any on ultrasound, but the only other explanation I have is that from the stomach flu, I was so dehydrated, and I have not been able to catch back up on my rehydration. Just being pregnant, you pee every 5 seconds. So drinking any amount of water is like, it just goes, you can't hold any of it in. And you need more to be properly hydrated when you're pregnant. So I'm like, maybe I was just that dehydrated that it caused my kidneys to be inflamed. I spent the rest of the night taking Tylenol every like 3.5, 4 hours, laying with the heating pad and just, trying to make it through the night. By the time I woke up in the morning around 5, I was ready to take more Tylenol, but I didn't I had the dull pain, but I was not in excruciating pain anymore. So I wanted to see if I didn't take the Tylenol, how I would progress throughout the day. And I've been fine since. I did take Tylenol yesterday morning because I had my daughter Heidi's kindergarten Christmas choir pageant thing that I didn't want to go and start being in pain and have to leave or miss it or whatever. So I just took some just in case. And then I've been trying to just drink water, and lots of it, the lemon water, and just a lot. But I started getting a horrible migraine last night, and then this morning I woke up, I could barely function. And I realized that I hadn't had caffeine in 2 days because I'm trying to not dehydrate myself even more. And so I'm like, this migraine is not going to go away until I have some caffeine. I drank a Dr. Pepper, and my migraine's gone, but now my kidney's starting to hurt again. So I'm like, this is fantastic. So now I'm drinking more water. I actually should take some Tylenol. I think I have some. I'll take some when I'm done with this. It is my kids' last day of school before the big long break, Christmas break, winter break. I'm not really sure what they call it, but they have until January 6th or something off. And my oldest has a half day. We're gonna go and get our nails done and our eyebrows done for the Christmas season. And then I have to go get my other kids. And then I can just be home. My oldest actually has a date with her boyfriend tonight to go look at Christmas lights, which is adorable, but it's really nasty weather out. So I hope it doesn't get canceled. But either way, it's really cute that he wants to take her to this local park to walk the Christmas lights. I guess his mom is going to be driving them. So really super sweet. I'm super excited for her. And we had the nails and eyebrows planned before this date came up. It just kind of worked out. Other than the kidney stone or lack thereof hospital stay, 35 weeks, it feels crazy to say. I really feel like next week I'm 36 weeks. Oh, excuse me. I have really bad heartburn and indigestion and acid reflux and burping and all that. Next week being 36 weeks is they won't stop your labor if you go into labor at 36 weeks. I won't be going into labor at 36 weeks, but it's just crazy to think that I'll be early term, 36 weeks. That's crazy. And this week is Christmas, so it's gonna go insanely fast. And then it's just a sleigh ride, literally, into being full term. So 35 weeks feels like another milestone week. I wanted to clarify something. I got a comment on my last video, and I responded really snarkily because I'm pregnant and hormonal and don't piss me off. But someone was I was talking about the insurance company and how they are changing my insurance at the 11th hour basically, and that's going to cause out-of-pocket cost. And somebody commented about how maybe we should stop having kids if we can't afford to pay to have them. And I think that's a little far off. I don't think anybody can afford to pay out of pocket for having a baby in America. On the cheap side, it's tens of thousands of dollars. Plus then your baby's hospital bill is tens of thousands of dollars. But if something happens, if I get an epidural, if the baby needs to stay in the NICU, if I have to have a C-section, anything above and beyond just like a 36-hour vaginal delivery, like hospital stay, basic, is tens of thousands of dollars for me, and then tens of thousands of dollars for baby. So I don't think anybody just has 50 grand, 30 grand laying around that they're like, yeah, I can have a baby because I can afford it now. Plus all of the appointments leading up to that cost money. I have to pay only $3,300 out of pocket to have this baby because my insurance should be covering the rest of it. However, when you're not budgeted for that and that pops up in a month, that is also something that I feel like people, for the most part, don't just have an extra $3,000, $4,000 to shell out at a moment's notice, or wouldn't be annoyed that they had to if they had it. You know what I mean? So my family is not on assistance of any kind. And not that I'm against that. I would love it if we qualified for food stamps again, because that was wonderful. But in Michigan where I live, I don't know the rest of the country, but in Michigan where I live, if you are a child or you are pregnant, you are automatically eligible for Medicaid through the state. And they, like, I used to pay for insurance. They kicked me off of the insurance I was paying for because I was eligible for Medicaid. So while I could go back and pay for extra insurance, I don't need to because I get Medicaid. So that's just what I've been using since Lennon's pregnancy, and she's my 9-year-old. So it's not that we can't afford it or that we are reliant on any services. But again, I'm not against using services that you are qualified to receive. You should receive all services that you're qualified for, and use them fully. But I think it's a little ridiculous to be like, oh, this $3,500 pop-up expense took you, took the wind out of your sails, so to speak, and so now you shouldn't be having this kid because you can't afford it. It's like, that's stupid to say. You should say things quietly to yourself before you say them and then type them out. Also, we did not plan to have this baby. And if you know me at all, we were done having kids and this was a complete surprise. So definitely not something we planned. Definitely not something that we're worried about paying for, but that's where we're at. So shush. Baby is moving like crazy, which is great. I am exhausted. I am ready to not be pregnant anymore, but I'm still not ready to do the birth thing. I will say that trip to labor and delivery, feeling the same pains that you feel when you're going through an excruciating birth, definitely was a huge reminder of what's coming for me, and I'm not happy about it. So wish me luck on that. I don't know. 35 weeks feels amazing. I've done this for 35 weeks. I can do it for another 5 weeks. But at the same time, like, 5 weeks is 5 more weeks of this. So I know that the next 2.5 weeks are going to go by really fast. And by the time my kids are back in school, we'll be into January, and that'll be my birth month, and it'll just go by fast. The weeks are going to go by fast. The weeks are going to go by. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I am here waiting for Adeline, and that's it. That's 35 weeks. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.